Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to DePaul University's 116th commencement. The academic procession is about to begin, so please take your seats. We respectfully request that all cellular devices be silenced for the duration of the ceremony, and we thank you for your cooperation. And now, the College of Computing and Digital Media and the College of Communication are proud to present the Class of 2014!
Members of the board, Reverend President, honored guests, members of faculty and administration, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 116th commencement of DePaul University's College of Computing and Digital Media.
And the College of Communication. My name is Dustin Goltz, Associate Professor of the College of Communication.
And I am an instructor at College of Computing and Digital Media and will serve as University Marshal throughout today's proceedings.
Please rise and welcome Reverend Paul Sissel of the Congregation of the Mission, who will offer an invocation. Then please remain standing for the national anthem, performed by John Concepcion.
Today we call upon God, our Creator and Sustainer. Today is a day of rejoicing and thanksgiving. We rejoice because the last step is complete. We are thankful for many reasons. Certainly we are thankful for the good that has happened, which is easier to remember. We also pray in thanks to God in all who have helped our graduates reach this day. The many have also encouraged, supported, and challenged them, your parents, spouses, friends, relatives, administration, and staff. God, the giver of life, we ask you to shine your light upon us today as we celebrate the academic achievements of our graduates. We can boldly speak of a diploma we are about to officially receive, but we truly believe that our efforts are faint without your assistance. Remember also the many fathers that celebrate this day, those that are here and those that are no longer with us. We thank and ask a special blessing for all fathers. Our university namesake, St. Vincent de Paul, reminds us of the blessings of life. Let us also remember the virtues of St. Vincent, the virtue of humility, of patience, meekness, kindness, and love of the poor. It's hard to be humble when you're a graduate of DePaul. In fact, you have a lot to be proud of, so be proud. In the words of a traditional Irish blessing, words some of you heard in song last Friday as part of the blessing for graduates, I quote, "May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall softly on your fields. And until we meet again, may you keep safe in the gentle, loving arms of God." Let us all proclaim amen and thanks to God. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
please be seated. At commencement, university tradition exercises one of the most cherished privileges by recognizing individuals who have distinguished themselves in their careers and service to others. Today, DePaul University is very proud to honor such an individual through a conferral of an honorary degree. David Miller, Dean of College of Computing and Digital Media, will present the candidate.
Reverend President, it gives me great pleasure to present Jon Favreau, actor, screenwriter, and director, as a candidate for the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters. In the early 1990s, Jon Favreau was struggling in Hollywood to make it as an actor. He had experienced some small successes. In the movie Batman Forever, he appeared as a day player. He played the character Eric the Clown on an episode of Seinfeld. Then, a gift from his father, some screenwriting software, changed Mr. Favreau's life. He took his career into his own hands. Inspired by his experience in Los Angeles, he wrote a screenplay called Swingers. The script told the story of a struggling stand-up comedian who turned to his outgoing friend to help him navigate the Los Angeles social scene. After director Doug Liman took an interest in making the film, Mr. Favreau and his real-life struggling actor friend Vince Vaughn were cast in lead roles. Swingers was produced on a shoestring $200,000 budget. That meant Mr. Favreau's actual apartment became his character's apartment in the movie, and family and friends of Mr. Favreau and Mr. Vaughn played most of the extras. Released in 1996 as an independent film, Swingers became a cult classic that catapulted Mr. Favreau to mainstream Hollywood fame. Like his character in Swingers, Mr. Favreau knew firsthand what it was like to be an outsider in Los Angeles. Born and raised in Queens, New York, he moved to Chicago in the 1980s to become part of the city's improvisational comedy scene. While performing at the Improv Olympic, known today as the I.O. Chicago Theater and the Improv Institute, he also landed a small role in the football film Rudy. He met Mr. Vaughn while working on that movie. After Swingers established his talent as a screenwriter and actor, Mr. Favreau played roles in the movies Deep Impact in 1998 and Something's Gotta Give in 2000. Then he turned his attention to directing. In 2001, he debuted as a director with the movie Made, a mafia comedy in which he also wrote and co-starred in. After that, an opportunity came his way to look for improvements in a screenplay called Elf. The original script for Elf was darker and more serious. Mr. Favreau came up with the idea of making the film as innocent as some of the classic holiday movies he grew up watching. With Will Ferrell cast in the lead role and Mr. Favreau in the director's chair, the movie became an instant modern-day Christmas classic and earned more than $225 million worldwide. Next, he shifted his interest to sci-fi and comic books. In 2005, he directed the space film adventure Zathura. In 2008, he directed and served as the executive producer of Iron Man, the film adaptation of the Marvel Comics series. The film was a critical and box office success. Mr. Favreau also produced and directed Iron Man 2 and served as producer for Iron Man 3 and The Avengers. Though he's spent more time directing and producing lately, he hasn't given up acting. Mr. Favreau starred in several films with Mr. Vaughn, including The Breakup in 2006, Four Christmases in 2008, and Couples Retreat the following year. He also wrote, directed, and starred in the independent film Chef, which opened in May. This movie is about a down-on-his-luck chef who opens a food truck with his friends. Mr. Favreau based the screenplay on personal lessons he learned in his career. In his spare time, he generously supports several charities, including Cedar Sinai and the Catalina Island Conservancy, which supports environmental preservation on Catalina Island. This year he is serving as co-chair of Tony Hawk's Stand Up for Skate Parks fundraiser, a charity event he has supported for the past 8 years. Jon Favreau, when confronted with challenges early in your Hollywood career, you found success on your own terms. By channeling your far-ranging talent into acting, screenwriting, and directing, you built a versatile career that gave America some of its most memorable films. The special touch you bring to filmmaking imparts an air of humanity in the characters who grace your movies. Your career and your great works truly are an inspiration to our students. Today, DePaul is proud to confer upon you the Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce Jon Favreau, our distinguished guest and keynote speaker.
Thank you very much. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you. I'd like to thank the faculty and DePaul and the students for bestowing this honor upon me. As somebody who never got a degree, I never finished my undergrad. This is a very big deal for me. Now I can tell my children how important it is to stay in school, that Daddy has a PhD. My wife is a medical doctor, and so now she no longer has that to hold over me. I have a few thoughts, in no particular order, honestly, more like bullet points. Because, well, it's Father's Day, first of all, and I'd like to wish the dads out there a happy Father's Day. And I myself am a father. Now, as you may have heard, I grew up in New York, but I came out to Chicago to begin my career in comedy. I lived out here for 4 years. I love this city, and I don't get a chance to come back here that much because I don't have any family here or any friends here any longer, really, just a few. And my life is out in Los Angeles, and when I visit my family, I go back east. And so when I brought my kids with me for this, I figured I could show them Chicago and imbue them with the love that I have of this city. But the challenge of that is very similar to the challenge of giving a commencement speech. There's so many experiences and so many things that you'd like to share, but inevitably you can't because it's something that has to be experienced for yourself. And so the best you could do is kind of point people in the right direction so that they may have those experiences themselves. So I fed them a little bit of food, took them for a char dog, a little deep dish pizza, showed them the water tower, and hopefully they'll come back here when they're a little bit older and could appreciate things more, maybe living here. This was a great city to start off in. It's so interesting having a film school. I think this whole program is really interesting, to be honest with you. One of the reasons I wanted to come here is DePaul was in the neighborhood that I was living in when I was here. I was in Lincoln Park, and I remember DePaul and the Blue Devils, and it was very much part of the Chicago culture. And it's nice to be part of a Catholic institution. My dad's Catholic, and my grandmother, who's no longer with us, would be extremely proud of this moment. But Chicago's been a special place, and much like going to a film school, and by the way, I think it's so cool that the film school and the communication school and the computer sciences are all kind of overlapping. It might seem arbitrary to some, but to me it actually seems quite prescient. With what's happening with the entertainment business, this is going to be, I think, more and more commonplace. Coming to Chicago was a great experience for me. They support the arts here tremendously. The comedy's wonderful. But I came here because I saw the list of names on the wall of Second City. And I started washing dishes there, checking coats, reading the souvenir books, and seeing all the wonderful people who came before me. And I figured coming here would be a great way to launch my career in comedy. Inevitably, though, the business took place in New York and LA, and so Chicago seemed kind of counterintuitive. But to be honest with you, the film business moved around a lot in the 20 years that I've been around. There was a strike in New York that brought a lot of film work here, then the work went up to Canada, then it went to Los Angeles, then back to New York, now it's in London. So I think if there's any theme to this, it's you make the opportunities wherever you can. It's certainly what I did. And technology, be it computer science or media or otherwise, is all dependent upon change. Change in technology, change in the way that content is being delivered. And the most important thing is that you have a story to tell, and that you tell that story from your heart. Now, I'm a Hawks fan. And we made a little bit of fun of the Kings and Wayne Gretzky in the movie Swingers. And now, in honor of the Kings winning the Stanley Cup, I'd like to present to you two quotes from Wayne Gretzky that I think are very important. The first one is, "I skate where the puck is going to be, not where it just was." Part of what made Wayne Gretzky a great hockey player is that he anticipated where the puck was going. Shoeless Joe Jackson from the 1919 White Sox said the same thing. He would break for where the ball was going to be hit before the crack of the bat. This is important for your generation. Don't go to where people used to make movies, the computer programs people used to design, what media used to be about. Anticipate where it's going to be. The gatekeepers no longer exist. That's part of what the technology is bringing about. Sending somebody a script and hoping they'll make it. Auditioning for somebody else's movie, that's kind of a little bit of an anachronism now. I did it with Swingers. A group of friends that I met made this movie together, and we presented a vision for something. We had a story to tell that nobody else could. We didn't know what we were doing, we didn't have a lot of money, but we had a lot of heart, and we had a lot of resilience, and we persevered and made it, and people discovered what we were doing. I think that's important for the filmmakers here to remember. Technology offers a lot of opportunities now in the filmmaking community. First of all, you can make movies like Iron Man. 10 years ago, you couldn't make that film. But because of hard surfaces and computer-generated effects that make photoreal characters, allowed us to make a story about a guy flying around in a suit of armor. That couldn't have been done before. But technology also offers something else, like the movie Chef that I just did. This movie hasn't had one billboard. It hasn't had a big marketing campaign. It's coming out in the middle of the summer among a lot of big movies. But through social media and word of mouth, people have discovered it. Now I just found out it's the 4th week in a row we're in the top 10 at the box office for a tiny budgeted film. Thanks. And the big thing it had was that I was able to tell a story. And so what I say to the filmmakers out there is, don't get hung up on the techniques that you learned. And certainly a film degree is not a vocational degree where you're guaranteed a gig. But what it does is it joins all of you together. And I say this to the people in computer sciences as well. I spend a lot of time in Silicon Valley. And Hollywood and Silicon Valley are not that different. It's people gathering together and discovering what ideas need to be out there. And only your generation can understand that. Do it yourselves. Don't wait for somebody else to give you permission or tell you you're doing a good job. And now you could self-distribute, whether you're designing an app, have a startup company, or you're out there putting content on the web. This is all viable, and the model is changing. Television as we know it is going to be unrecognizable soon, as is theatrical distribution. All of that is changing, I'm telling you this. So figure out what story you want to tell, figure out what your vision for the future is, and push it through yourselves with the people that you've met here and the people that you meet as you go out into the job market. A few years ago, it was a very scary time to graduate because there weren't a lot of jobs and the economy seemed strange. Now I'm telling you that there are jobs, but they're jobs that you create for yourselves. The world is changing, and you are the most equipped to deal with those changes. And so I'm hopeful for your future. Let's see how we're doing on the time here. Only 2 minutes. I only did 2 minutes. Okay, we got some more. For those of you who are in animation, technology is informing that as well, and I spent a lot of time up at Pixar and at Disney Animation, and I was very enamored with the technology that was available there. And what John Lasseter said to me was that the technology means nothing without story. And I keep mentioning this thing, story. What is story? Story is another word for the myths of our time. What's your story? What's the story of the character that you're presenting? What's the story of your startup, of your program, of your vision? How does the character change from the beginning of the movie to the end? What does he learn? It's the old Joseph Campbell myths told over and over again, whether it was in Star Wars or Iron Man or in a movie like Swingers. It's all about what characters learn and how they change, because we hunger for these lessons in our lives. Life sometimes seems random. It seems like events are just happening to us and there's nothing that's tying it all together. But that all depends on where you put the punctuations. And as storytellers, if somebody perseveres through hard times, learns something and prevails, and then that's where you put the period at the end of your sentence, that's a lesson for others to learn. And it's this interdependence that's becoming to be more prevalent in our society as technology connects us together through social media, through storytelling, through content delivery. We are becoming nodes of one large brain. I know it sounds strange, but this quickness with which we communicate with one another allows for us to work in tandem and break through things to a degree that has never been understood by previous generations. There's talk of singularity. There's talk of all of the good and bad that comes with this interconnectivity. But honestly, I think it allows for greater achievement. And it certainly allows for people to start off on their own because, as I said before, the gatekeepers are gone. Everybody has access to the system. And there's a responsibility that comes with that. In the early days, it's internet trolling and people making fun of each other and the anonymity of the internet. But what it also allows is for crowdsourcing things, both in the way that you raise funds, but also the way you develop projects. And the little bit that I see of this next generation through the eyes of my children makes me understand that these kids understand this. In the movie Chef that I'm doing, my character is a chef who doesn't want to cook the same food that he's always cooked, and he's come up through the traditional system of the culinary world. He ends up being signed up for Twitter, makes a fool of himself, and ends up losing his job because he said something publicly that he didn't understand that was public. He cancels his Twitter account, loses his job, opens up a food truck, cooks the food that he wants to cook, and then through the eyes of his 10-year-old son gets signed up for social media, and through the kid managing his marketing ends up getting a big audience as the truck goes cross-country. This isn't just a fable, this is a tale for our time. I remember when I was little, there was a concert called Woodstock, and they sold tickets for it. And everybody lined up to get into this giant outdoor concert at a venue in Yasgur's Farm. Well, at a certain point, the fences came down, and nobody was buying tickets anymore, and everybody just flooded in and watched the concert that lasted for days. It's a good metaphor for what's happening now. The gatekeepers that allowed you to put a television show on a network are not as relevant any longer now that you have new media and cable. The same thing's for the case for short films. You don't have to wait for a festival to accept you. Put it online. There are friends of mine who have found people who are putting stuff out online, like Broad City, for example. Amy Poehler saw them on the internet, and now they have a show on Comedy Central. See, with all this technology, and the thing that unifies everybody who's in this room is you're dealing with media. Media is just a word for the thing that allows you to communicate your message, but it doesn't teach you what message you have to present. And what I invite you to do is figure out what your story is. Wherever you're from, wherever your family's from. What's wonderful about America is that a multicultural society with stories from all around the world. And we invite everybody to come together and create a new story for the future. That's what we're all about. That's what my family was about. And all of us, unless you're Native American, you're not from here. And so we have to contribute all of our stories together and tell them together. This is more for the computer guys. I became friends with Elon Musk through the Iron Man movies. He's a very fascinating character. He was a guy who dropped out of Stanford to do a few computer startups, including Zap2 and PayPal, became extremely wealthy and rolled all that money into other companies because he had a vision for the future. He wanted to see people colonize Mars. And so he started his own rocket ship company, and everybody thought he was a fool to do so. He wanted to change the nature of the carbon footprint on the planet, and so he set out to make electric cars cool. When I met him, we were consulting with him because Robert Downey Jr. said that we needed to talk to somebody to bring some authenticity to the Tony Stark character, who plays a billionaire, futurist, inventor, industrialist. And Elon Musk was the closest that we had. We sat down and talked to him. He was a fascinating guy. And when I met him, he was on the verge of bankruptcy. He had put all his money into Tesla. It wasn't going very well. The space program hadn't proven itself to be profitable yet. And there he was with all of his funds rolled into this endeavor. In the time since I've known him, the Tesla S, which I signed up for because he let us shoot at his spaceship factory for free in Iron Man 2, and I thought it was a nice gesture. I put myself on the waiting list. That turned out to be Car of the Year and is the flagship for all green tech in the car industry. It's a great car, the Tesla, and it's proving that electric cars can be cool. And now he has the contract with the United States to launch all satellites and has docked with the International Space Station with SpaceX, and now is being tasked with bringing human living cargo to the space station eventually. So he took a big risk and believed in something and pushed his way through without asking others how he should proceed, but instead had a vision and found a way to get there. We all have good breaks and bad breaks. The whole idea of samsara, the wheel of life and death, of good luck and bad luck, and finding a way to persevere, because in your long careers, you're going to come across good times and bad times. If you're counting on good luck to get you there, it won't. You will have streaks of good luck, but you'll also have streaks of bad luck. And the trick is to be able to persevere through those cycles, through the ups and the downs. I've often found that the best breaks hurt the people the most, and the things that people found were the worst breaks ended up benefiting them the most. I said I had two quotes by Wayne Gretzky, and here's the second one. Wayne Gretzky said, "I miss 100% of the shots that I don't take." And I think if there's any lesson that I have for all of you, or message, it's to take those shots. I came to Chicago to study improv. I thought it was going to teach me to be funny. It didn't teach me to be funny. I can't get a lot of laughs from jokes. I could get laughs dressed up like a throw pillow talking to 1,000 people. I had thought black was slimming up until today. But what I did learn were the rules of improv. Tina Fey talks about it in her book, but they're lessons for life. One is the rule, when you're improvising, you're always taught never to say no, always to say yes and. Agree with what your partner is giving you and then contribute something else to it. Yes and. It's a good way to go through life. The other thing is to always commit to the scene. You're up there with no material, and even if everything's falling apart around you, if you jump in and commit, the scene will win out, because as a group together, you will form a group mind and you will discover something greater than yourself. That was a lesson of Del Close, who I studied with here in Chicago as well. So what I'm telling you is your biggest enemy right now is not the economy, it's not the job market, it's fear. Fear of the future, fear of trying, fear of branching out into an area that you don't think maybe you belong in. I left Wall Street to come here to Chicago to do artwork at art fairs and to do comedy and improvisation. Within a couple years, I had my SAG card through doing some commercials for some local Chevy dealerships, and eventually getting cast in Rudy. I moved to Chicago, I moved to LA, started writing. Nobody asked me to, I just decided I wanted to. That led to directing. Doors will open and you will sneak through them. But the big thing is you can't be scared when those opportunities present themselves. So my message is to you is be brave and be bold. Congratulations, class of 2014. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Cassie Snyder, a candidate for the Bachelor of Arts in Communication and Media, will present the student address on behalf of the class of 2014.
Father Holtschneider, Board of Trustees, Deans, Professors, classmates, friends and family alike, it is truly an honor to speak here today. In the past few weeks, during the sleepless nights of cramming for finals, I am sure many of us have been flooded with nostalgic memories of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Who can forget those late-night runs to Devil Dogs, relaxing in the quad after class, mornings spent running to catch the L, countless hours spent finagling D2L, student loan nightmares, but also the severe environmental challenges we endured. The class of 2014 has survived some of the most brutal Chicago weather in history, including a snowpocalypse in 2011, 2 major heat waves in 2012, 2 polar vortexes in 2014, and yet here we are, frostbite-free, and still getting our degrees. We are all anticipating some big changes after graduation, but we cannot move forward without thanking those who helped get us here today. Whether your support came from family, friends, partners, professors, or just your local Starbucks barista during finals week, all of them helped prepare us for life after DePaul. We know that words can never capture the sentiment fully, but nevertheless, we are eternally grateful for their role in our success and successes yet to come. Let us all take a moment to thank these important people in our lives. We have spent the past few years placing our faith in the idea that knowledge is power. Simultaneously, we have allowed ourselves to create change and be changed by our time at DePaul. However, regardless of our varying majors and minors, a lesson in all of our curriculums has been how to deal with, manage, waste, share, create, and spend time. The hustle and bustle rhythm of Chicago has taught us to use every second to plan for the next meeting, deadline, interview, or the next time you get to sleep in past 7 a.m. It is easy to fall into the counterproductive routine of spending today planning for tomorrow. And yet, in the midst of our hectic schedules, think of a moment where you realized that no matter how much planning you did, time became unpredictable. This could have been when you slept through your 8 a.m. class, missed a deadline for your dream internship, had your free iced coffee coupon expired before using it, were dumped by someone you thought you would spend years with, or something as serious as having someone close to you pass away. For me, time threw my future plans for a loop 25 days ago when my mother lost her battle to cancer. All of these are difficult, yet valuable lessons. These experiences allow us to leave DePaul knowing that time is a gift and not a guarantee. As much as we may scrutinize over the details of our future, life will always be unpredictable. In a world where we are taught to micromanage every hour, it is important to be reminded that the only thing we have control over is what we do with today. Anticipating our futures takes away time from initiating what can start being done now. And now, don't get me wrong. I do not wish to create any more anxiety about the future than our generation is already experiencing. We have enough of that. Instead, I encourage us to focus on time as a gift by living in the moment. We should and will plan for the future. But time in the future is uncertain, and the time we are experiencing now is not. When we value time as something that we are not entitled to, but rather privileged to experience, we place more emphasis and value on what must be done today. When this is accomplished, we begin to follow the footsteps of St. Vincent de Paul and St. Louise de Marillac, whose legacy we are inherently linked to. Together, St. Louise and Vincent served people in need with a sense of urgency, focusing on the change they could create day by day. When we view time as a gift, the chores of tomorrow become the opportunities of today. When we view time as a gift, we cease to rely on the excuse of having tomorrow to pick up where we left off. When we view time as a gift, we are able to hold ourselves accountable, to stop waiting and start being a catalyst of change. Right now, we are being given the gift of time, the gift of now, the gift of right here. To honor this gift, live in the moment and live in the present. It is, after all, the gift that keeps on giving. During her lifetime, St. Louise de Marillac constantly asked herself and those around her the question of, dare we hope? Class of 2014, when we embody the restless Vincentian spirit and celebrate the gift of time, we dare to answer yes. There is hope. We are hope. We are DePaul. Thank you, and congratulations.
The candidates of various degrees will now come forward. Dean David Miller will present the candidates from the College of Computing and Digital Media.
Reverend President, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Computing and Digital Media, I respectfully present the candidates and recommend that the announced degrees be conferred upon them.
By the authority that's vested in me by the Board of Trustees and by the State of Illinois, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you've been recommended, with all of the rights, all of the privileges, and all of the responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
Jacob First, Professor and Director of the School of Computing, will announce the names of the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Science, Master of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Arts.
From leaving until the end of the ceremony. Thank you. Out of respect for all, we request that graduates refrain from leaving until the ceremony is finished. Thank you. In the United States, the PhD is the highest academic degree awarded by universities in most fields of study. American students typically undergo a series of phases involving coursework, comprehensive oral and written examinations, and often completing pedagogy requirements. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Assisting in the hooding will be the candidate's faculty advisor. Jonathan F. Gemmel. Brent Ann Shiver. Maoqi Zhu. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Master of Fine Arts. Timothy J. Hitpas. Schaefer S. Holt. Bruce L. Kesselring. John M. O'Dowd. Brian J. Mellon. Joshua Dwayne Russell. Molly Franken-Stroll. Jonathan Torres. Heather E. Yates. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Master of Arts. Master of Science. Sultana Othman A. Abu Hussein, with distinction. Kamal Dean Abdur Rahman. Kimberly L. Adam. Darmilolar Abebanjo. Carlos Aguilar. Saif Ahmad. Ahmed Yassin A. Al-Hamoud. Anas Abdulatif Al-Juwaiber, with distinction. Ahmad Ali M. Al-Salam. Ali Abdullah K. Al-Ajmi. Nizar Al-Amadi. Mohamed Ali A. Bajaba. Majid Haidar B. Al-Muafa. Abdullah Saad M. Al-Ajmi. Ayed Al-Bakri. Marwa Aldar. Salam Mohammed S. Al-Harman. Turki Motaib S. Al-Dosari. Amar Ghazi S. Al-Harbi. Ali Abdullah S. Al-Harthi. Sultan Abdullah O. Al-Thomali. Khalid Abdulaziz A. Al-Gathami. Mansour Ayed M. Al-Utaibi. Abdurrahman Ahmad A. Al-Humaydan. Badr Mustafa A. Al-Gamlas, with distinction. Talal Muhammad R. Al-Garashi, with distinction. Fahad Hamid Q. Al-Juhani. Abdulwahab Abdullah A. Al-Kharashi. Benjamin Alinder, with distinction. Ali Abdul Rahman A. Al-Uraini, with distinction. Alian Ali G. Al-Masaid. Ayman Ibrahim A. Al-Nasser. Majid Saud M. Al-Usaimi. Michelle Shabab M. Al-Utaibi. Kala Abdullah Y. Al-Saddoun. Saeed Muhammad A. Al-Sheri, with distinction. Rima Rashid Al-Sunaid. Saad Nasser S. Al-Tamimi, with distinction. Saud Fawaz M. Al-Tamimi. Maxwell Amoa. Wei-Shing An. Ashish Anand. Seshi Sai Reddy Anireddy. Tilani K. Atali. Sultan Zayad A. Al-Rashid. America Ballesteros. Suad Ahmad O. Pawidan. Nikolai Balu. Matthew R. Barron. Ursula Baraneski. Brian Mather Barnard. Lisa Barnes. William P. Basso. Dan J. Belisic. Dejana Maedzik Belkin. Anu Kashik Bhatt, with distinction. Orlande Adele Aleph Michelle Bidot. Marlise Bloom. Grant W. Bodie. Vincent W. Bogdan. Karthik Bandugalapati. Eric Bonts, with distinction. Dinah Remus Buchner, with distinction. Sana Batul. Kevin Cagnolati. Ivan A. Calvo. Carl Marcus Leopold Kamen, with distinction. Chris Carter. Maria Ceballos, with distinction. Araceli Cerda, with distinction. Amod Kiran Kumar Chavan. Marta Chosek, with distinction. Emily S. Clar, with distinction. Zakia Aisha. Nicholas Alexander Cleveland. Jolina S. Close. Jordan B. Corley. Daniel P. Coughlin. Nicole M. Craig. David S. Suk. Nada M. Dabuse. Jeria N. Daniel. William F. Deaton. Christopher Deere, with distinction. Nathan Luis Delgado. Leonidas Directlis, with distinction. Tanya Directlis. Barry Jeffrey Darren. Asif Tuji. Alberto A. DiMichael. Keaton Diener, with distinction. Melissa N. Dornty, with distinction. Ria Ashvani Kumar Doshi. John J. Drogolis. Menqua Do. Brian L. Edwards. Devon J. Edwards. Freddie Isa. Bruce Isley, with distinction. Omid N. Tazari, with distinction. Annette Erickson, with distinction. Ahmed Mahmoud Mohammed Fakhri, with distinction. Mohammed Faris. Valerie Fisher, with distinction. Darian Fisher. Brian Fu. Christopher Isaac Fulton. Gonzalo Gomez. Anthony J. Gaskin. Dmitry Gershik. Mija Ghazi Zadeh. Christopher J. Giesler, with distinction. Max J. Gilman, with distinction. Mark A. Glanton. Yuji Gong. Michael R. Gore. Joshua Grosinger, with distinction. Janavi Veni Gunam. Dandan Guo, with distinction. Jesus Guzman, with distinction. Richard R. Haffey, with distinction. Craig Hamill. Jin Han. Drew P. Harpin. Ronald Hart Brown. Camille Marit Hatchett. Kinshasa Hawkins. Mingjia He, with distinction. Xinyang He. Nicholas Helfers. Anthony A. Hill. Jasmine Monique Hill, with distinction. Melvin D. Hines. Václav Zita. Shannon Michelle Hobbs. Omari Holtz. Huiyan Huang, with distinction. Barbara Huba. Mohammed J. Hussein. Talal M. Hussein. Mariwan K. Ibrahim. Ithinga Ilango. Alanawaz Ismail. Sonal Jetli. Shahad Jan. Pianuk Darayanatisakul. Rifan G. April N. Jones. Sadnoba Bartolome Kabore. Puja Kamat, with distinction. Isha Kun. Paul T. Knudsen, with distinction. Michelle Kunin. Jeffrey Kristen. Mohammed J. Kuba. J. Kunwar, with distinction. Charles J. Kwiatkowski, with distinction.
I'm Charles Kwiatkowski and John Favreau. This is my voice.
Daniel LeBoy. Eris Lampridis. Eric Quinton Lapnirame, with distinction. Phoebe C. Larner. Michael C. Lassen. Maya Lewis, with distinction. Hui Lee, with distinction. Delfino A. Lieben. Nolan Paul Libenau. Xinxiao Liu. Jorge L. Luesa. Stephen Luke, with distinction. Alexander Mallory, with distinction. Adrian A. Martis. Jeff L. Marlowe. Annika McClure. Carrie Quebana. Carlos Monroy. Nichelle Moore. Raven Moore. Christoph Mulika. Michael Wando Munyao, with distinction. Pierre Roger Mvango Bitoto. Yolanda Nelson. Sultan Mohammed E. bin Humaid. Kandwi Win, with distinction. Harika Kamaludin, with distinction. David Odulate. Savina Imran. Douglas J. Indalak. Elizabeth L. Keys, with distinction. Lakeisha Lenice Kirkwood. Farhan Latif. Benjamin Levy, with distinction. Norman E. Lewis. Anthony C. Lyons, with distinction. Jing Mai, with distinction. Rosalia Martinez. Terry R. McKee, with distinction. Ronita D. Mestas. Adam Miluski, with distinction. Michael V. Miller. John E. Millies. Pradeep Nair, with distinction. Haiduk Ngo, with distinction. Sharab Navid. David Nguyen, with distinction. Juan J. Nieves. Fakrian A. Nugraha, with distinction. Sean Oberheim. Kirk W. Ackerman. Sadaf Pasha. Timothy O'Donnell. James S. Patterson. Terry Patterson. Kavyunjal Perlman. Paul W. Palafas. Jayasilan Perumal Swami, with distinction. Joseph F. Peterson, with distinction. James Peterson. Marty S. Picor. Tina Annan Petrowski. Natalie Porphyris. Cynthia S. Porras. Peter Jerzy Pruski, with distinction. Ahmad Rabah. Anut Bien. Yasmin Jamal M. Rashidi, with distinction. Keshia Richardson. Christina Rodriguez. Ashley K. Rumps. Brian Bowden. Jamie Peoples. Samuel K. Owusu. Judith Krishna Anishi Silva Sampath Baduji. Andres V. Sanchez. Miriam Irene Sanders. Thomas J. Skilepi. Brian J. Semrad, with distinction. Michael James Sesterhan, with distinction. Ashish Shah. Junaid Sheikh, with distinction. Harold Lloyd Shipman, with distinction. Ariel Schlaman, with distinction. Isaiah E. Cifuentes. Corey Simpson, with distinction. Shampi Singh. Damon Southfield. Kasim A. Soyebo. Sean C. Stanford. Sarath Sudhir. Stephanie M. Swift. Pailin Tan. Stephen Tai. Derek Thope. Michael A. Thierry. Thipsuri Tirawangkusal. Deepak Tiwari. Adele Toma, with distinction. Richard L. Turner. Margarita Yuk. Jonathan T. Urbanski. Jean-Damour Uimana, with distinction. Margaret Maza Valadan. Nathan Varjavand. Prathima Venkatesan, with distinction. James Wagner. Yiding Wang, with distinction. Andrew L. Wasowich, with distinction. Jonathan L. Wenk, with distinction. Zachary D. Wilson, with distinction. Win Nunu Win, with distinction. Charles D. Weinbrenner. Matthew Womack. David M. Wozniak. Jihao Wu. Wei Xia, with distinction. Serhan Yildirim. Steve C. Yu. Oleg Yurchenko, with distinction. Sebastian Zaba. Matthew Zakara, with distinction. Fahad Abbas Zaidi. Michael Edward Ziskowski, with distinction. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Master of Arts. Artid Usaranuyek, with distinction. Justin G. Bertrand. Tricia A. DeSalvo. Michelle A. Ludwig. Robert Grisham. Catalina Landano Cardona. Johnny L. Mullins. Latoya Outlaw. Sandy Cyberlick. Darnell G. Woods. Jing Zhang. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts. Tyler D. Bankston, cum laude. Catherine A. Book-Leitner, magna cum laude. Courtney Fain, cum laude. David L. Finseth, magna cum laude. John R. Francis, magna cum laude. Chelsea L. Henshaw, summa cum laude. Mayra Jaramillo. Mallory Krista Jean Mugen, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Jefferson. Michael Sam Miko. Kayla Mikula, summa cum laude. Julia R. Simplicio, magna cum laude. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Bachelor of Science. Syed M. Abbas. Hamad Salim Abbasi. Sana Abrar, cum laude. Fahad Alduyej. Abdul Malik Ibrahim M. Aldubayan, summa cum laude. Faras A.T. Al-Fukaha, magna cum laude. Munib Ali. Juan A. Alvarez. Frank J. Alvino, cum laude. Jackson C. Amenhäuser, cum laude. Rondell Aquanel, magna cum laude. Frank P. Arena. Anas bin Azmi. William J. Babitz. Ian Cole Becker. Brandon T. Bell, cum laude. Keith J. Benson. Melissa N. Bilek, cum laude. Tony J. Bellato. Dario A. Bimby. Tyler J. Bloom. Casey A. Bloom, cum laude. Jonathan L. Bocanicio, cum laude. Devin Boniak. Brandon Bonstedt, cum laude. Wesley S. Bondi. Craig A. Brock, summa cum laude. Samantha Bruno. Jason Brute. Samantha Michelle Bukowski. Will Kane. Jesus I. Calderon. Adrian Camacho. Christopher J. Campbell. Nicholas Raymond Carosa, magna cum laude. John M. Carrillo. Michael A. Catanzaro. Nathan A. Chamat. Jai Chandarana, cum laude. Elaine E. Cisneros. John Henry R. Clark, magna cum laude. Brittany Collins. Mariam Comber. Jesse D. Crystal. Samuel V. Cushman. John T. Davidson, cum laude. J. Patrick T. de Guzman, summa cum laude. Nicholas M. DiFrancesco Roth, summa cum laude. Edric J. De Leola, cum laude. Angel Estrada. Mustafa Fahmy, cum laude. Colin A. Farrell, cum laude. Lawrence J. Folletti III, summa cum laude. Tom Fuentes. Jenilyn M. Gabor. Bonsoir Ruel Garbutt. Dylan Farr. Brian M. Gates, cum laude. Maher Garib, cum laude. Nader Garib, cum laude. Ginger Glendinning, summa cum laude. Rodolfo M. Gomez. Omar Gonzalez. David V. Gotzegan. Troy E. Gold. Michael D. Gripentrog. William W. Quinetti. Joel Robert Gruth, cum laude. Eric A. Gwizdalski, cum laude. Nadir A. Haddadin. Robert Hallowell. Carrie W. Hahn. Patrick S. Hanchek, magna cum laude. Taylor Harrington. Zachary S. Hoffman. Matthew J. Holmes. Sean A. Holmes. Nick A. Howe, cum laude. Michael Lawrence Hoy. Ryan M. Jackson. Eugene Aruchev, summa cum laude. Alexander P. Jewell, magna cum laude. Jordan S. Johnson, cum laude. Daniel Jovanov. Alex S. Kagabine. Barbara M. Kubas. Mohammed Khan. Ian T. McCarthy, cum laude. Nicholas R. Legatsky. Amreen F. Khan, cum laude. Ryan M. Klaproth. Lucas A. Klein. Alexander Curtis Krautman, magna cum laude. Caitlin L. Cretterfield, summa cum laude. Alexander Kulka. Jimmy Joseph Kurian. David B. Lasky, magna cum laude. Patrick D. Lavin, summa cum laude. David Leal, magna cum laude. Bradley Levy. Randall J. Lilly. Laborio Loera. Sarah M. Loke, magna cum laude. Philip Luke, cum laude. Zachary B. Lutmer, summa cum laude. Camry A. Mack, magna cum laude. Kevin W. Markman, summa cum laude. Lisa M. Martinez. Cynthia Matthews, magna cum laude. Joseph G. Matula. Justin A. Matza. Pierce R. McBride, cum laude. Matthew James McRail, summa cum laude. Eric G. Meyer, cum laude. Michael D. Miller, summa cum laude. Andrew N. Misek. Kenneth Rose. Joseph Mueller. Michael Murphy, magna cum laude. Tyler J. Murray. Roger Nahera. Ivailo Nalbantov. Jason T. Nanak. John Patrick Navin, cum laude. Kevin J. Newhouse. Jim M. Nemiek, cum laude. Richard Niznik. Benjamin Joseph O'Connell, summa cum laude. Kenneth A. Oliva, cum laude. Antonis L. Panay. Javier Alejandro Opresa Estrada, cum laude. Joel P. Parker, cum laude. Sarah Askilunas. Rahan R. Panchal. Shant Paparizan, summa cum laude. Matthew R. Parker, summa cum laude. Neil P. Patel, cum laude. Ravi R. Patel. Neil A. Paule. Alexander V. Pavlovich. Christian R. Pedraza, summa cum laude. Emily M. Poniatowski, summa cum laude. Matthias Prebel, magna cum laude. Kavya Perpala. Jennifer I. Kuzinski. Zakir H. Qureshi. Rafal Radomski. Mohammed Abderrahman. Jiten Rajput, cum laude. Andres Reynoso. Mackenzie Riley, cum laude. Paul Michael T. Ramondo. Ian Robertson. Ricky Robinson, cum laude. Manuel J. Rodriguez. Aaron M. Rogier. Theodore E. Rydberg. Alexander M. Rimards, cum laude. Juan Emmanuel Sanchez, summa cum laude. Warren J. Savage, cum laude. Alex M. Schauer. Bangdi Xiao. Michael D. Schock, magna cum laude. Raphael Senberg. Clint W. Scheufelt. Mohammed Shoaib, magna cum laude. Christian D. Simpson. Mohammed Hazim. Svetoslav Slakov, magna cum laude. Anna M. Slowinski, cum laude. Akash A. Soni, magna cum laude. Parth C. Soni, summa cum laude. Patrick F. Stein, summa cum laude. Andrew Zlembarski. Eric J. Takis. Faizan T. Salim Twoni. Christian N. Vasquez. Michelle E. Verceles, summa cum laude. Sabir A. Vijapura, cum laude. Ryan Vortman. Anthony Lewis Wade, Jr. Mark C. Walls, magna cum laude. Dominic D. War. Grant S. Weiss. Samuel P. White. Matthew J. Will, cum laude. Tyler D. Kujawa. Adam Williams. Daniel Williams, cum laude. Jermaine James Williams. Stephen C. Wu, magna cum laude. Jonathan Yunan, cum laude. Matthew S. Zanko. Kevin J. Zidek, cum laude. Jonathan Stein. Mohammed Afif Najib bin Zol Sohaili. Marie Stumbo, summa cum laude. Umaima Tabani. Jason T. Tran. Daniel Charles Van Overbeck, magna cum laude. Robert D. Wagner. Daniel P. Zork. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Timothy A. Bailes. Alec D. Bass. Joseph B. Berg, cum laude. Veronica Marie Busa, magna cum laude. Matthew Brazel, summa cum laude. Nicholas E. Brown, magna cum laude. Tori Bykowski Newton, magna cum laude. Michael D. Capusili, cum laude. Christopher Cavada. Elizabeth R. Chitjen. Alexander W. Davis, cum laude. Jason M. Drexler. Eric Adam Ebner. Matthew T. Flanagan, magna cum laude. William T. Flanagan, magna cum laude. Valentin Flores. Rachel J. Foster, cum laude. Christiane C. Franklin. Owen Garrett. Andrew C. Breskoviak, cum laude. Gregory A. Hallman. Colin B. Heffernan. Matt J. Emerino, cum laude. Trevor V. Jackson. Alexander V. Yaniak. LaRoy Johnson. Stephen M. Johnson. Tabitha Isabel Kulikowska. Victor J. Laporte, magna cum laude. Thomas R. Lewis. Stephen Leitner. Elise Michelle Maccabee. Allison E. Merrick. Robert E. Martinez, cum laude. Eric Matula, cum laude. Jerome T. McCurdy. Agata Mikolaja. Maria Fernanda Morales, summa cum laude. Suzanne E. O'Connor, magna cum laude. Dane P. Olrogi. Hector M. Padilla, cum laude. Ben J. Petty. Alex J. Pullman. Allison Jade Corato, magna cum laude. Kevin Patrick Quick. Michael Reef. Pedro Rodriguez, cum laude. Molly E. Ruffner, magna cum laude. Sabina Mikal. Stanton T. Valentino, cum laude. Diana C. Moya James, summa cum laude. Thomas R. Korabek, summa cum laude. Stephen B. Soder. Alicat Roop. Elizabeth G. Meister. Lauren Tracy Pope. William J. Schneider. Derek Simon. Victoria L. Scott, magna cum laude. Miles Teague, cum laude. Luke J. Pochask, summa cum laude. Bailey Sullivan, magna cum laude. Savannah R. Milazzo, magna cum laude. Taylor Spence. Christian Trailer. Olivia L. Volpendesta. Stephen R. Wind, summa cum laude.
Candidates, there we go. For the various degrees will now come forward. J.C. Bruno Taboul, Interim Dean of the College of Communication, will present the candidates.
Reverend President, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Communication, I respectfully present the candidates and request that the announced degrees be conferred upon them.
By the authority that's vested in me by the State of Illinois and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degrees for which you've been recommended, with all of the rights, all of the privileges, and all of the responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Congratulations to you.
Scott Viverman, Senior Instructor and Faculty Advisor for Radio DePaul, will announce the names of the candidates for Master of Arts and Bachelor of Arts.
Okay. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Master of Arts. Montez Allen. Hazel Marie Elizabeth Thorne Anderson. Brittany Beatty. Lindsay Barber with distinction. Shikavi Margaret Mary Biacolo with distinction. Jillian Henke with distinction. Claire Bessignano with distinction. Chelsea Boomer with distinction. Christina Brown. Angela Bucaro. Tyler Carter. Kasapo Chibwe. Ashlyn Courtney with distinction. Hari Cruz. John Dangles. Amanda DeVoe. Andrea Dixon. Alexa Dogtrum. Emily Duddleston. Stacia Doss with distinction. Katerina Fiklovich. Clarissa Fiddler. Jocelyn Finley with distinction. Taylor French. Tamara Fuller. Emily Gilmer with distinction. Dion Gomez with distinction. Enrique Guerrero. Valeria Guerrero. Michelle Nicole Hill. Alicia Howard with distinction. Kevin Heisya. Samantha Jacobs with distinction. Jacqueline Jensen. Ashlyn Keefe with distinction. Mark Kennedy with distinction. Brianna Kelly. Azika Kamitova. Galina Kartulari with distinction. Gina Napick, Keaton Colby, Michael Lassiter, Juan Lapati, Shelley Leggett, Andrea Lemieux with distinction, Sarah Gregg, Catherine Leone with distinction, Monica Lim, Monica. All right. Jocelyn Lindsay, Jesselyn, sorry. Jodelle Maglaya, Brianna Mate, Sarah McJohn, LeVar Morel, Kristen Mychek with distinction, Samantha Mirabali, Jacqueline Molina, Taina Molina with distinction, Raul Moreno, Sarah Mouton with distinction, Veronica Ortega, sorry, Taylor Pejos, Serena Sue Grace Phillips, Yvette Rattray, Erin Reed, Jennifer Lee Rohula, Phelan Royal, Jacob Rudnick, Laura Sander with distinction, Thelma Sarden, Joanna Scott with distinction, Evangeline Semark with distinction, Megan Stem Wade, Odalis Suarez, Daniela Sutton with distinction, Jacqueline Thayer with distinction, Nicholas Tiparescu, Jacqueline Tortorello, Christopher Aaron Westbrook, Patrick Wilmot with distinction, Kent Wilson with distinction. I need a drink. I don't know. The previous one. I skipped over. The following candidates have successfully completed the requirements and have been awarded the degree of Bachelor of Arts. I'm doing my movie trailer voice. Caitlin Abatacola, magna cum laude. Margaret Adams. Andrea Ajunta. Rachel Agee. Brian Almoldez, summa cum laude. Harold Alvarez. Maria Amesquita, Tanya Amide, cum laude. Matthew William Anderson, cum laude. Carly Aarons, Jasmine Armand, summa cum laude. Frederico Arroyo, Azka Asif, Rebecca Aspel, Sharon Bagenda, Kimberly Bainter, cum laude. Colleen Baker, magna cum laude. Dominique Baker. Carly Baldo, magna cum laude. Julian Banielos. Bridget Barquay. Tara Barbato, cum laude. Alyssa Barford, cum laude. Laura Barnes, summa cum laude. Ariana Barreto. Ave Beck. Hugh Patrick Belden. Haley B. Miller, magna cum laude. Netta Bensoon, magna cum laude. Melanie Benford, cum laude. Marissa Bertolini. Mackenzie Bialek. Danielle Bailowski, Ashley Bigos, magna cum laude. Natalie Blackburn, summa cum laude. Stacy Bowden. Dorothy Marie Bowser, cum laude. Alexandria Braden. Michael Bragg. Hannah Braun. Sarah Breyer, cum laude. Courtney Bright. Diana Brokop, summa cum laude. Naya Brooks. Kendall Brown. Hannah Burtis. Lauren Bunker, summa cum laude. Jonathan Burke. Kip Burrows. Alexandra Bush, cum laude. Shelby Byrne. Jamila Marie Kubahug. Seda Kalbe. Dana Campobasso. Michael Canella. Lori Cano, cum laude. Special. She's supposed to be reading it. Just, okay. Paul Ismio Charisma. Hillary Kassman. Lisa Castellanos. Natalie Cavallo. Vania Serrero. Cameron Chambers. Cecilia Chavez. Cynthia Guadalupe Chavez. Kelsey Childers. Eric Chacon, summa cum laude. Alonso Cisneros. Megan Clemens. Nolan M. Code, cum laude. Rebecca Colanese. Nina Coleman. Danny Collins. Colleen Connolly, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Constantine. Michael Corio, cum laude. Gabriela Cornejo, cum laude. Megan Coronado. Aaron Corral. Dalton Cox. Yes, I know. Erica Munoz, magna cum laude. Jessica Crawford, cum laude. Melissa Kubert. Michael Kubert, cum laude. Kathleen Cummings. Sarah Kernow. Carrie Shopek. Diana Dodano. Christina Dale, cum laude. Jack Daly. Brandon Davis. Frederica Davis. Kelly DeBrock. Vivian Delgadillo, cum laude. Russell DeLuca. Nicholas Demi. Kimberly Denny. Anastasia Dextra, cum laude. Diana DeLenge. Cassandra Dorenzo, magna cum laude. Rachel Dobris. Leah Einerson. Maria Elias. Meg Elsperman. Ogechi Emechebe. Jennifer Enright, magna cum laude. Laura Kendall Susanna Evans. Michael Sam Falkery, magna cum laude. Christina Falconer. Daniel Fazekas. Jacqueline Felker, cum laude. Emily Fife. Adan Figueroa. Jessica Finley, summa cum laude. Matthew Fitzgerald. William Fitzgerald. Anastasia. Oh, right? You're tiny, right? Tanya Flores. Spencer Flynn, summa cum laude. Debbie Fong. Thomas Folks. Tim Franklin. Jasmine Furire. Anna Frundle. Claire Frederick. Rachel Fromkin, cum laude. Daniel Galen. Brittany Galler. Javier Ionso Garibe. Adina Garnietta, summa cum laude. Adriana Gaspar. Catherine Gaspar, cum laude. Colleen Gavin. Janice Gebhardt, magna cum laude. Allison Jeffrey, magna cum laude. Molly Gagan, magna cum laude. Catherine Golahan, summa cum laude. Stephen Gomez. Brooke Grable. Allison Grease, summa cum laude. Olivia Gunther, cum laude. Hannah Gunreo. No, that's Guerrero. I'm sorry. That's awful. Sorry. Teresa Gimo. Kelsey Guthrie. Kylie Halpin. Amar Hamad. Alicia Harden, cum laude. Jennifer Harris. Hannah Heights. Leanne Hepler, magna cum laude. Doris Hernandez, cum laude. Jessica Hernandez. Natalia Hernandez. Sarah Nicole Hernandez, cum laude. Alexander Herzog, summa cum laude. Madison Hogan, summa cum laude. Tanya Hollander. Taylor Holt. Rachel Homan. Kevin Howe. Miriam Howell. Taylor Hunt, cum laude. Rocio Isaac, magna cum laude. Shanna Jackson. Stephanie Jackson. Hannah Jacobs. Courtney Jaquin, magna cum laude. Kayla Janicki. Sarah Jaworski. Victoria Jesenick. Alice Jacodola. Catherine Karkowski, cum laude. Kelsey Kennedy. Christian Ketter, cum laude. Summer Q. Khan. Asfia Khatun. Christine Kim. John Kingston. Jeffrey Kirk, summa cum laude. Tabitha Kimmick. Greg Koppelman. Joanne Korzinski, cum laude. We all do, really. Alexandra Kozak. Stephanie Kramer. Zach Kupin. Sean Lenahan. Blair Janis, cum laude. Carolyn Learned, cum laude. Chelsea Labar. Taylor Labarette, cum laude. Andrea Lapsus. Joseph Patrick Lascaro. Eva Latalo. Michael Laterza. Kelsey Lawson, summa cum laude. Maria Larazevic. Amanda Lederer. Carolina Lakarzik. Amelia Lentz, cum laude. Alexander Leonitos. Julia Page or Podge? LePage. Tyler Levin. Madison Levy, summa cum laude. Molly Levy. Christina Lewis. Melissa Lindsay, summa cum laude. Alexander Lloyd. Melissa Lloyd. Alexandra Lobenhers. Kelly Loftus. DJ Rocket, Jackie Long. Carmen Lopez. Lillian Lopez. Kayla Lovgren, cum laude. Nicolette Lowe. Christina Losa. Delaney Lux, magna cum laude. Kevin Maxud. Amanda Macri. Ariana Magana. I took Spanish. Kevin Malloy. Rachel Marciano. Ashley Marquez. August Marin. Alana Martinez. Jessica Martinez. Teresa Marks, magna cum laude. Amy Mason, cum laude. Christina Mastro. Melissa Mobby, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Mouse, cum laude. Elizabeth Mayer, cum laude. Michelle McConaughey, magna cum laude. Jamie McConnell. Edwin McGee, magna cum laude. Annalie McClone, magna cum laude. Sadie McGuire, summa cum laude. Lady McKeague. Craig Anthony McLennan. Jordan Melendez. Rachel Marciano. That's there we go. Maria Melnick. Amber Meeman. Laura Mina. Peter Mendez. Alejandra Mendoza. Katarina Miranda, cum laude. Ashley Messer, magna cum laude. Michael Metivier, magna cum laude. Brittany Middlebrooks. Elena Mylan. Jessica Minogue. Jesse Malloy, magna cum laude. Jose Monarez. Hannah Musa, summa cum laude. Jennifer Moran. Chad Morgan, summa cum laude. Sylvia Morris. Courtney Morrow, summa cum laude. Tavon Moss. Marie Munoz. Corina Murrow. Margaret Murphy, magna cum laude. Ushvini Murthy. Christina Myers. Megan Nance, cum laude. Vincent Paul Nava, summa cum laude. Braden Nauman, cum laude. Jessica Nero. Mariela Neverez. Kristen Nevels. Kristen Newton. Alexander Nazis. Maureen Nerswicki. Jessica Nidivaji. Amy Notstein, magna cum laude. Cardinal Niarco. Allison O'Connor, cum laude. Megan O'Donnell, summa cum laude. Katie O'Connor. Ryan Ogrintz. Samantha Ohaith, Caitlin Oliva, Barakat Olaranjo, sorry. Elise Orndorff, magna cum laude. Lourdes Ortega, Gina Otolino, cum laude. Jessica Ovalle, Yoselin Ovalle, cum laude. Camille Sofia Padilla, Chelsea Page, Anna Palagi, Nina Plank, cum laude. Michelle Pantoja, Arina Panzerino, Martin Parsley, Allison Polish, Stephanie Pavey, Anthony Pecco, cum laude. Judith Pellegrino, magna cum laude. Erica Peters, Carlin Petertil, magna cum laude. Vince Petrella, cum laude. Allison Piatoni, Ryan Pierce, magna cum laude. Robert Pagozzi, Taylor Piper, Lisa Plackey, summa cum laude. Rachel Pollard, Christina Pugari, summa cum laude. Julia Pukach, magna cum laude. Corey Powell, Allison Pradzinski, Allison Preston, cum laude. Alexandria Prude, Amreen Kadir, Tanya Qureshi, Elizabeth Rabins, cum laude. Natasha Radoslavovich, nailed it. Ariana Rakshani, summa cum laude. Amy Ramelli, Victor Rasho, Amanda Rathy, summa cum laude. Maureen Ray, summa cum laude. Genesis Reyes, cum laude. Raul Reyes. Danielle Reynolds. Ryan Rhodes. William Rivera with distinction. Jeremy Risner. Nabila Rizvi, cum laude. Nikki Rizzo. Camden Robertson, cum laude. Christina Robertson. Andrew Rodriguez. Lahura Rodriguez. Kelsey Rohrman. Rebecca Roller, magna cum laude. Allison Rooks, cum laude. Emily Rosen. Jordan Rome. Austin Rothman. Lauren Reutman. Irene Rosenberg, cum laude. Jorge Ruiz Losada, cum laude. Rumbla Salahuddin. You're Aya. Aya Saman. Got it. Marielle Sarkin. Jessica Shell, summa cum laude. Cody Shield. Christina Ray Shute. Julia Schroeder. Devin Schwent, cum laude. Martha Segura. Erica Senift. Senift. My bad. Ariane? Yeah. Ariane Senerez. Alexander Serrano, cum laude. Nicholas Anthony Sevilla. Catherine Sheehy. Jillian Skolnick, summa cum laude. Mary Ellen Shoup. Shannon Schreibeck, magna cum laude. Tori Sikelski. Stephanie Sabato Tovar. Bobby Simmons. Joy Simmons. Taj Simmons. Catherine Cindy. Dominic Smith, cum laude. Matthew Smith. Ashlyn Snuckle, cum laude. Megan Summers, magna cum laude. Ariana Soto, cum laude. Nicholas Suksavat. Michelle Souther. Brianna Southern. Valen Sparks. Cody Staley. Cassandra Snyder, cum laude. Natalie Stam, cum laude. Morgan Stam. Alexander Stellis. Brittany Stern, cum laude. Samantha Stocking. Mike Stovall. Megan Strama. Jenna Stroh, cum laude. Caitlin Stewart. Catherine Stewart, summa cum laude. Nicole Suarez. Jamie Sullivan. Brittany Sutcliffe. Scott Sutton, magna cum laude. Andrea Swanson. Ruba Swice. Nadine Tadros. Jennifer Temple, magna cum laude. Gabriella Thomas. Joseph Tomas. Hillary Thorngren. Paige Thornton. Megan Tierney. Taylor Tolbert. Alex Tomuta, magna cum laude. Ariel Tops. Rayla Torin, magna cum laude. George Torres. Amanda Trevino. John Trillick. Samantha G. Turner, magna cum laude. Gabriel Charles Tyler. Sarah Yuchakson, cum laude. Winnie Uluchoa, summa cum laude. Ryan Van Fossen, cum laude. Diana Vargas. Vanessa Vasquez. Alexandra Vekic. Claudia Velasquez. Edgar Velasquez. Kirsten Verdon, cum laude. Michelle Villagomez. We're to the V's. Claudia Villalpando. Natalie Virgil. Julia Vo. Morgan Wachowski. Leslie Wakeford, cum laude. Megna Walia. Jessica Walsh, summa cum laude. Lauren Walsh, cum laude. Samuel Wasserman, summa cum laude. Nathan Weissman. David Weber. Hannah Wenrick. Christine Witten, cum laude. Amy Wilcox. Nicholas Wilder. Shondia Williams. Abigail Wilson, cum laude. Samantha Wilson. Sarah Wilson, cum laude. Celine Witherell, magna cum laude. Laura Wing. Pethio Yawanis. Justin Worthen. Janet Wan, cum laude. Rick Zambuto. Vesela Minkova Zabrenyova. Mark Zeglin, summa cum laude. Gabriela Zasina, cum laude. Alexandra Zorich. And last but not least, Emma Zupek, magna cum laude.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present you the class of 2014.
We invite representatives of DePaul University to formally induct these graduates into the Alumni Association. Cassie Snyder, BA, will initiate the induction on behalf of the class of 2014. Deans Miller and Tabul will represent DePaul University, and Valerie M. Ruiz, class of 2009, will accept the inductees for membership.
Will my fellow classmates please rise? Inscribed upon this scroll are the names of the members of DePaul University's 116th graduating class, the class of 2014. On behalf of my classmates, I request that our names be formally added to the list of alumni of DePaul University. We pledge our continuing allegiance and devotion, and we ask the alumni to direct our services to the university.
Thank you. We present these graduates for admission into DePaul University's Alumni Association. This tradition began 116 years ago with the graduation of DePaul's first alumni, and it continues today with the class of 2014.
By their personal example, these women and men working in the arts, business, science, and the professions enrich the communities where they live and work. We trust that the contributions of today's graduates will enhance and bring honor to this proud DePaul University tradition.
We accept these graduates into DePaul University's Alumni Association, members of the 116th graduating class. We welcome you to your next steps of a lifelong connection with DePaul. As students yesterday, graduates today, and alumni forever. You are now part of an even larger DePaul community of over 150,000 alumni living in all 50 states and all over the world. The continued vitality of DePaul University depends upon each of us, alum, and our pledge of allegiance, devotion, and service to the university. We invite you to accept membership into this august body by moving your tassel from the right to the left. This is a symbolic gesture to your transformation from a student of Vincent DePaul to a lifelong learner and citizen of the world. We join the tens and thousands of alumni who have come before you in making this pledge. Congratulations on receiving your degree.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the President of DePaul University, the Reverend Dennis H. Holzschneider of the Congregation of the Mission, who will conclude our ceremony.
Congratulations, class of 2014. I see that you're still standing. Well, let's put that to good use. I give you the men and women who have worked their hearts out for you all these years, your faculty and staff. Hey, even the parents were clapping for you. Good going. All right, sit down. And let me say Happy Father's Day to everyone who's celebrating that today. Congratulations to you. And Cassie, that was a moving talk. Thank you so much. That was a gift. At DePaul University, we consider graduation ceremonies as one last lesson. Not another paper, not a portfolio, not a project, or another book to read. No, what we do for your last lesson is bring you a person. In this case, Jon Favreau, not just because you know him for stage and screen, but I guess you do. No, we wanted you to see him today because we wanted you to see someone who had to scramble to make a life. You can wait for a life to come to you, or you can decide to scramble to make one. And not just because he worked hard and succeeded. That wasn't the only reason we brought him here to you today. We also asked him to join us because he did this working in an industry that can sometimes ask you to give away a part of yourself and to become something that you perhaps not. Instead of reading other signs, he stepped forward and brought his own heart. He told his own stories that were genuine and true, and has always kept that true. And we wanted you to see that. And even more, we wanted you to see a human being who decided it wasn't enough just to receive, but actually to give back with all of the charity that he does. That's the measure of a life here to us at DePaul University, all of it. We say that we give an honorary degree today, but truthfully, I think because he's here, he honors us. Thank you, sir. And we want that for you. A few minutes ago, we did something that you may or may not have fully noticed. We actually branded you. Now, it's not an elegant word. It's often used of cows. But we actually, a few minutes ago, put our name on you for all time. From this moment forward, when anyone asks you, where did you prepare, where did you study, you will answer, I am a DePaul University graduate. And we do that proudly. But we do it asking you at this moment to take that name and to live to what all it means. And so, as you have every professional experience that will come your way, remember the standards that our faculty had for you, sometimes believing that you were capable of more than you actually believed yourself were capable. Hear their voices in your head all these years going forward, their belief in you, their expectations, and live to the name DePaul University, which so proudly has sent you forth. But even more, the name that we put on you for today, forever and for all time, is the name of a Catholic saint, Saint Vincent de Paul. And so we ask you to live to that name too. Honor it with your lives, because this is a man who in his time, in his place, looked around at needs of the world that others chose to ignore or turn their eyes to and just plow forward with their own lives. But he saw the human need around him and said, how do we do this? How do we manage it? And he brought people together. He looked at the whole world with his fullest vision and said, let's change it instead of leaving it the way it is. And so do that as well. Take everything that you've received here and make the world better. Because the truth is, we will be as happy for you as can be as we watch your careers take their next steps, as we see you with your first jobs, your second jobs. We watch your careers blossom, as you establish your lives in the communities and places and with the loved ones that you want to do so. As your lives take shape, we will be happy for you at every moment along the way. But DePaul University will be proud of you if you take what you've been given in this life and you give it back to the world as a gift. In fact, if you become that gift back to the world. So congratulations, class of 2014. Go out and make us proud.
We thank you for attending the class of 2014 commencement of DePaul University's College of Computing and Digital Media and the College of Communication. Our congratulations to all. As you are leaving Allstate Arena, you may encounter a gathering crowd. Our graduates and their guests for our next commencement ceremony, which will be underway shortly. To ease your exit and their arrival, we invite you to meet up with your graduate and travel a short distance to the Forest Preserve Dam Number 4 at 2272 East Devon Avenue. There you will have the opportunity to take photos of your graduate in their academic regalia with their diploma cover. Graduates, as you recess, please exit the Sky Room immediately and reconnect with your family and friends at your car and travel to the Forest Preserve. We thank you all for your consideration. Please remain seated until the graduates have recessed from the hall. Thank you and congratulations.